Hi everyone, welcome to the Junior Developer channel. Hope everyone is doing fine. So I got quite a good response after my last video. Also, if you have not watched my previous video, I'll link it in the description. Where my previous video is essentially about how I was able to complete 7 internships before finishing my engineering. So this time I'm going to talk about like something else because a lot of you DM me asking like, okay, we understand you did all these internships, but how were you able to get all these internships? So I'm going to talk about three concrete steps you can take, starting from today, which will definitely help you achieving at least one internship in the near future. So these are really broad level steps, and I could essentially make one video each on each step. But to make it really concise, I'll give you an overview of how we can do this. And this again coming from personal experience. This is exactly what I have done, like I had done, and also there are a few things which I did not do. I'll also talk about them as we move forward. So again, to start off with, this will be purely for you to get a technical internship, but a few of the starting points actually make sense even for non-technical internships. So we have a healthy balance of both. So the first step would be exploration. So exploration is the most crucial step. As we know that in terms of tech, right? Like tech is a vast topic altogether. If you look at it from that perspective, we have like mobile, we have iOS, Android, we have web, we have full stack web, we have IoT, we have DevOps, etc., etc. So my first tip would be to try to explore all of this. Try to explore all of this. You're definitely in your first, second, or third year, and you have good amount of time. So try to explore all of this and figure out like which one is working out for you. And now like after once you've done it, like for example if you're confused between two of them, then the best way to figure out is talk to folks who are already in that industry, right? So they'll be able to give you much better insight. You can talk to them about how their daily work life looks like, and see if that interests you. If it doesn't interest you, it doesn't make any sense, right? So why is this the most crucial step out of all, right? Because there's a high chance you might end up doing this till your last breath, which is a big thing altogether. It's a huge commitment. So try to spend as much time as you can in this particular step. It could be 3 months, 4 months, at 1 year. It's completely fine. Just make sure that you don't end up regretting in the end, right? So yeah, that's the first step. Try to explore things and figure out what's working for you and not working for you. So now I'm assuming that you have figured out that, let's say I want to go into web, so you have figured that out. So now the second step would be market research. So you have to just look through like what all skill sets do you need to actually get an internship in web or in IoT, blah blah blah, whatever. So now go to all, like there are a lot of sites, like there's Internshala, there's AngelList, there's LinkedIn. There are a lot of places. Or even if you would have done the last step which I mentioned about, where you talk to folks, right? So you could obviously ask them like what kind of skill sets is it expected from an intern. So to give an example in terms of front end, right? So if I'm to hire a front end intern, I wouldn't want them to know how React works internally, or what React Fiber is. I would just want them to basically understand how to write good code. That suffice. Rest I can like count on them to pick it up as we progress further. So those are the things you have to figure out, and it becomes really easy so that you can directly focus on them. And it's completely fine if you want to broaden your horizon, if you want to understand how technically in depth, how technically this thing is working and all. But that's completely on you. But if like right now you're in a position where you just want to get an internship, the best way to do is market research. Look at the skill sets which are required for that particular role and start learning them. But if you have good amount of time, it's always best to learn things internally how it works, because at the end of the day you're gonna end up being there at some point. So it's better to do it before rather than wait for it. So that's the second major step, which will also take good amount of time. The last step would be to apply. That's the most obvious ones, right? So try to wake up in the morning and apply to like 50 jobs. 50 odd jobs. Just keep on applying. Look at everywhere in all the, like, you have internet, right? You can just search over like all the places where we get interns and all, right? That would be the last step you could do. And after that, like, there's again many segments to this particular part, right? The applying part. So the first one would be job on board, like job boardings and all. You can apply there. And the second will be cold emailing HRs and founders. So this is something which majorly worked for me rather than applying, at least when I was looking for internships and all back in my college days. Because applying would basically, if you apply for a job, there might be a lot of folks, right? But really less number of folks actually reach out to you via cold email or something of that sort. And you have to make sure that whenever you're cold mailing someone, it has to be a really personal message, right? So there are ways to frame it and all, and how exactly you can write it down and all. But we'll not be covering that in this particular video, but definitely we can talk about it in the future videos. So try to cold email folks. And if you're looking to get into a startup, the best way to directly cold email the founder. Because in startups there's at least one, like, they can at least afford to have one intern on board. So it's a win-win for both of them, right? So try to reach out to founders and show them, like, why you will be a good fit, how passionate are you regarding that technology, and whatever the founders are doing, right? Like, how well do you know that particular sector, or how you can help them grow, right, as an org as well. And the last segment I would want to talk about is, in terms of applying, would be, you have to make sure that you stand out of the crowd. Now this is something I'm going to leave it up to you to figure out. What do you think, according to you, you could do so that you stand out of the crowd? Because that is again as important as the other steps. If you don't do that, you might end up missing a lot of things, right? So that's about it. That's like, these are the three broad level steps you can follow to get an internship. I'm glad you made it till the end. All the best. Hope this works for you. And feel free to DM me if you have any doubt. I'll be happy to answer. And if you have any suggestion, I'm again all ears. So please share this video uh, to whoever this would actually benefit. And please subscribe and let me know if there are any topics you would want me to talk on. Thank you.